is he eating right now?
You can see he's chowing on the grass because it's just plucked off the grass, and sometimes it might be a sand on the grass. So if he really, dusting the sand itself from the birdie, what he do, as you can see, once he plucks off the grass, he has to, polish the grass against the birdie in order to get relief of the sand, because once you have to chew the grass of the sand, it's going to be a problem when it comes to the molars that elephant use. In the lifetime, elephant has to make sure that he mustn't grind anything with grass, because if you lose the molars, it will be the end of the life, because you won't process food, because you will be having worn molars, and then after that you can die by starvation. It's one of the species that is very common to see them going towards the water or during the day. It's very, very hot. As you can see, the color of the species itself is more black and gray in color. When it comes to body circulation, it's very, very poor. Dark color, all of us know that it's absorbed a lot of heat. It's very common for lonely bulls like this, being alone. You tend to see elephant in herds. That could be a matriarch society or breeding herd of elephant. So there's a vehicle on our way here. We have to drive more forward. They have a very good system of channel of communication. They use a low frequency. They do that by the stomach. The stomach grumble in a very low frequency called subsonic sound, which can travel at least 10 to 15 kilometers away. Then they can really communicate with the elephant from 10 or 15 kilometers away. If they need to get together, from the sound itself, it's a lot of meaning. They can know how distant they are, and they can meet where they get together. Most of the time, he's still young. He might be in the age of between 30 to 35 years age of old. They're very lot more inquisitive, going into big lakes, swimming, playing, most of the time once they get together. Yes, perfect from here. Very, very perfect. A male and a female elephant, you can sex them from the distance. If you look at this boy here, the head is a lot more massive, big, it's massive. If you look at the female, it's got the tiny little head and round sort of a forehead. That is a female. And the body itself, if you look at the male, is more buff and big. Female are a lot more smaller, and the tusk also, female they're having a thin tusk, where the male has a long tusk sometimes, and more, thick, sort of, or fat, sort of tusk, where the female are a little bit thinner. And the reason of that is because the male have to protect himself, he has to use the tusk. I haven't seen female, fighting. You tend to see males a lot more protecting, or when it comes to mating, protecting the female, fighting one another. It's amazing when it comes to a courtship of a female elephant and a male has to be on mass. You tend to see female becoming a mass, and the male at the same time has to go on mass in order to cross one another and mate. If it's not on mass, they're not going to mate. It doesn't matter how big you will be, as a male, you won't able to have a preference of mating. So you have to become on mass. It's unlike the other species. If you look at the lions, if a female become on mass, a female lion, it will really walk around and set mark into the area. If a male get to scent that into the area, automatically a dominant male will go on to follow up on the female, and come across the female and mate. So that doesn't work like that. A female become a mass, and the male has to be on mass at the same time. Then they can cross together, or they start to focus one another and mate. If it's a young elephant that's become a mass, and there's an older bull into the area, the female won't be accepting the young male to to mate, what's going to happen? We keep on going until we come across with the full-grown male that is a lot more experienced and mate. The reason of that, because the young males are unexperienced and they're looking for an experienced male that it will be big enough, it will always spread a very strong gene. So if they mate with the young elephant, that will affect the gene. So elephants are very, very sensitive when it comes to mating. So they make sure it has to be an old bull that really could be in the middle age or up to 50, 60 years. Then they can mate together. There's no problem at all. Same as leopard. Leopard doesn't tolerate young leopard to mate with females. You always stay away with the young leopard. When it comes to lions, you know that lions depend if you in big cohesion or coalition of the males, like the Mapoko males, there are 6 altogether. If there's a young male there, he's going to be accepted sometimes if it's a really a pressure of mating. But also the female will avoid that, but it can happen sometimes. There's no 100% guarantee that the female will deny that. But sometimes it can happen. But elephant doesn't do that at all. I'm just taking an example. Few animals that are around in the area in order to understand how the channel of communication or channel of communication, how they lie down the information, and also when it comes to mating, who will be accepted, who will be not accepted to mate. Very clever species. You see, it's a lot of grass there where the falling tree are. Elephants just moving that tree away in order to get that grass because it looks like got a lot of nutrition there, a lot of cover. The grass are always in the shadow. They still look like more greenish in color.
Another question for you, Rex. The elephant's ear, why do they move it back and forth often? You can see it especially on hot days, right?
It's a very good question too. When it comes to body circulation of an elephant, the ears are acting like a fan or radiator. It cools down. It radiates actually the blood from the ears because the soft part of an elephant is just behind the ears. The heart is going through the heart to the ears and go back to the body. So by doing that is to cool the blood. To cool himself is on that way.
Yeah. Very smart.
Very good. A fully grown elephant can weigh up to 6 tons. A heavy species. That is very amazing. If elephant walk past here, you won't able to hear the footsteps. Actually, it's one of the silent animal into the area. Do you remember leopards? The silent walkers. Look at the crack on the skin itself. From here you can see the very amazing. Most of the time if you see elephant going into a pan or a dam, spraying himself mud in the body, it could be 2 reasons. It's to cool the body and also to fill the gap of those cracks. Because sometimes you tend to see a lot of flies, the border elephant by laying eggs there, and really it bother elephant when it comes to the ears. All of the flies that go inside the ears and make a little bit of noise. So sometimes it has to cover that. If it's really covered with mud, it will be less flies on the body itself because there's no place for them to go and lay eggs. It's a nice word.
It's a very hard word to pronounce, Rick.
Yeah, Ndlovu.
Well,
But very easy to say it in Ndlovu. Elephant is one of the species. It's really it's happy with the presence of the vehicle. You can check it by the ears, also the trunk. They'll be moving and eating around. But if he's really pissed off with the vehicle, you can see him from the distance. The head will be a little bit up and show that he's going to cause a serious damage on vehicles.